It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Okay, y'all, normally we are here and enjoying some music from these classic artists, these big time songs that over the last 20 or 30 years I have neglected and I am just getting caught up on. But occasionally we do videos highlighting brand new music. Brand new music by emerging artists or currently working artists who have sought my my thoughts on their work. And this one is interesting to me. This one has been sent in by our friend Thomas Horman. Thank you, Thomas. And it is a song that he is calling Dreamcatcher. And he describes it as an instrumental in the prog rock style as part of a larger prog epic story. And he says it begins by quickly reprising the chorus melody from the previous song and then drifts into a surreal mindscape as the narrator falls into a dreamland. So Thomas has sent me a YouTube video to look at, and as I look at it, it's got 3 sections. It has Dreamcatcher, which is the last section, but it also has this section called The Great Outdoors, which is the second section, and it starts with something called Campfire. And it's not very long, so I think I want to listen to all 3 sections. We're going to listen to the entire video. Thomas has published this under the name Matrix Prog Rock. I believe that is the name of the project that is working on this, and I'm excited to take a look. I believe that this is part of this larger epic, and the writing of the epic is ongoing. I don't believe that the suite is completely finished, so this is going to be a sneak peek into a portion of this. I think it's like part 5 or 6 of this larger epic, and I am curious to see what it sounds like. So let's dive in to Matrix Prog Rock and this track, which starts with Campfire, and then The Great Outdoors, and then Dreamcatcher. Off we go. Already transported. It's a single acoustic guitar, it sounds like. Some outdoor sounds. Lands on an A chord. That's an E. So the E sets up as dominant to this A. It's lovely and spacious. There's the A, right? To the 5. Just simple little chords. I can imagine a few folks hanging out around a campfire in the woods with a simple acoustic guitar just strumming and enjoying the sounds of nature around them and joining in with their guitar. Pretty. Only imagine how like a little soundscape over the top of it might sound, or some strumming. How about that? So some rhythmic strumming. I think this is getting into the next section called The Great Outdoors. 1 to 2 and to 3 and to 4 and to 5 and 6 and.
Sound of the world, the song of the birds, the smell of the breeze, the shade of the trees, fragmenting light forms a glistening show.
It's an asymmetrical 6, but it's also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's also in 4, depending on how you want to notate it.
This is me.
Lovely.
This is where I want to be.
Lovely.
This is me.
4 major 7, that's the D chord,
This is me.
to A major 7, or major 9.
This is where I want to be.
Lovely little sound there getting to the cadence. 5. Got some flute coming in.
The sign of the stars, ready to name. I feel humble and brave. They are one and the same. The warmth of the heart, a laugh with a friend. No social demands. This is where my
It's almost like a duet with the bass, isn't it? That would be flat 6 to flat 7. Back down to flat 6, the F chord.
Searching all these years, the quest for myself. This is where I want to be.
Back to the A.
This is me.
And I have to compliment the movie making here. The visuals are quite lovely, and the way that the lyrics are coming in here is quite an immersive experience. I like it. There's that same funky cadence again.
This is where I want to be.
Now, looking at these visuals, that's where I want to be.
This is me. This is where I want to be.
He wrote to me and he says, in this piece, The Great Outdoors, or this comes from the video description, as we took to the long hike in the forest. Actually, I should stop this for a second. Hang on. As we looked to the long hike in the forest, I found myself settling into the environment in an unexpected way. I couldn't help but notice the many delightful sights and sounds so different from the artificial surroundings I was accustomed to. I felt a sense of belonging that I had never experienced before, as though my natural being were telling me that it needed and wanted this spiritual nourishment. Before long, it almost seemed that I had been born here. If you grow up and spend most of your life in an urban environment, you get out to the great outdoors, it's a completely different world out there, isn't it? And especially with the air being cleaner. I remember like going into the great outdoors with a family member in the Lake Tahoe region, up in the mountains, and the air is crisp. The air is, you just take a breath and you feel connected with everything that's there, and you've got the smells, and you've got just the sights of everything around you, and it just reconnects you, doesn't it? And so that's what I'm getting from this. It's quite lovely. I'm going to continue on. It's a simple tune, y'all. Just 4 chord, except there. Goes to major 6. It's a chromatic 3rd progression, and then the flat 6 of that one goes back to A. Well, that was cool. So this is Dreamcatcher, the one that Thomas was interested in me hearing, and it does reprise what we just heard. The bass is on 5, but you got some interesting suspensions in there, and there's the squirrel. Beautiful. So we're going into the dream world, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that rhythm is still couched in the meter of 4/4. And we're in F sharp. Halfway between the A and the D, right? The dream world. Right, if we had the A and the D chord, then we're melding into that F sharp world, halfway in between, right? Woo. Now minor. Right. 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Slow 7. 5, 6, 7. That's a really neat motive that he's doing there. Da da dee da. Right? It starts. Hang on a second. There we go. It starts on what I would consider the fifth of that chord, and then it goes down by a half step, and then back up, and then up to a half step and back. It's like if that was an F sharp chord, he was on a C sharp, and then da 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 da. It's right around that, right? So it's still murky and dreamlike. That's really cool. Off we go. Right? Hear it? He's moving it to different chord areas and different chords. Listen to the bass go. Great playing. This guy's lucky. He gets drum breaks in his dreams. Ooh. Listen to that sound. Sounds like fee-fi-fo-fum. Let's hope it's not a nightmare. More chaotic now, right? The dream is kind of devolving a little bit. What is that in the video? It's like Bigfoot. It's like Bigfoot and the Blob had a baby. Really interesting electric guitar work. It seems disconnected a little bit from what the other things are doing. Like it's caught in the circumstances surrounding it. Real Bigfoot? So moving that motive to different pitch levels, up a step, upper minor third, right into that 7 groove again, right? And that motive coming back in, that double neighbor tone, chromatic motive. And again, overlaying all of the percussion from before, so it's layering on top of itself, right? Threes against twos. Well, that was cool. The way that it ended, it kind of sounds like me after a very nice dinner. It finishes unfinished, and it makes sense because it's part of a larger piece, right? Really, really cool stuff. From the YouTube description of this particular video, for this section for Dreamcatcher, it says this: I drifted off into a peaceful sleep following our exhausting climb, with the sights and sounds of this beautiful nature still in my head. Okay, but somehow, during my sleep, other thoughts and images crept into my dreams, telling me that I should not get too comfortable out here, and that my presence was regarded as an invasion into someone else's domain. But whose? Tune into the next installment to find out, right? Although, I'm pretty sure that Bigfoot is going to play a role here. I don't know what woods Matrix Prog Rock has found himself in, but apparently there is some danger out there. This is a piece of music, as I hear it, that is unfinished, right? It's part of a piece that's currently being built, but I can get the narrative portion of it, right? I understand this portion of the story, and it makes me want to continue the story. I'm curious as to who is out there and how our narrator makes out, right? So in that sense, it's a very effective piece. I like the progginess of that Dreamcatcher tune. It's got some elements in 7. It's got some really neat layered rhythms to it. It's got some harkening back to some of those previous themes that we heard, and it takes you through stuff that sounds contented and sounds lovely, but it also sounds like a dream world. And there are spots where it turns a little bit, dangerous, where you're like, okay, what danger lurks around this person in the great outdoors? Tune in to find out, right? So wonderful stuff. Thank you, Thomas, for sending this in to me. I very much enjoyed it. Best of luck as you continue on finishing up the suite. So wonderful sounds, and I appreciate having a chance to take a peek at it. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.